Jack Rogers looked up at the night sky from his backyard in rural Iowa. The stars shone brightly against the dark canvas. His telescope was pointed at what most people would think was empty space, but Jack knew better. For the past 3 nights, something had been moving out there, something that didn't match any known satellite or space debris patterns. Jack worked at a small radio observatory that most people had never heard of. He wasn't a famous scientist, just a regular guy who loved looking at the stars. Tonight was different, though. The object he had been tracking had suddenly stopped moving and now hung in a fixed position above Earth. He reached for his phone and called his boss, Dr. Linda Powell. "Linda, it's Jack. That object is still there and it's not moving anymore. Are you sure?" Linda's voice sounded tired. She had been dealing with Jack's discoveries for years, most of which turned out to be nothing special. Positive. "And there's something else. I'm picking up radio signals coming from it." There was a long pause on the other end of the line. "I'll be there in 20 minutes. By morning, every major observatory in the world was focused on the same spot in space. The news spread quickly, first through scientific channels, then to governments, and finally to the public. An alien ship was orbiting Earth. In Washington, D.C., inside a secure underground room, President Sam Harris met with his national security team. The room was filled with military officers, scientists, and intelligence officials, all looking at the large screen showing the alien vessel. "What do we know?" President Harris asked. Navy Admiral Debbie Carter stood up. "The vessel is approximately 2 miles long. It's maintaining a stable orbit and has made no aggressive moves. We've detected energy readings, but nothing that looks like weapons being aimed at us." "Have they tried to talk to us?" the president asked. Dr. Pete Johnson, the nation's top scientist, adjusted his glasses. "Yes, Mr. President. They sent a simple, binary message that we translated about an hour ago. They're requesting to speak with Earth's leaders." President Harris rubbed his forehead. "And we're sure these are really aliens? Not some kind of trick?" "Sir, the technology of that ship is beyond anything humans can currently build. The energy signature alone." Dr. Johnson shook his head. "They're real." The president nodded slowly. "Then let's talk to them. Set up the communication link." The alien's face appeared on screens around the world. It looked nothing like the green men in science fiction movies. It had blue-gray skin with no hair, 4 small eyes arranged in a diamond pattern, and a mouth that seemed too wide for its face. When it spoke, its words were translated into all major human languages simultaneously. "People of Earth, I am Commander Zorth of the Galactic Exploration Fleet. We come in peace to establish first contact with your world." In homes, offices, and public squares across the planet, humans watched with a mix of fear, wonder, and hope. Back. In the secure room, President Harris stood before a camera. "Commander Zorth, I am President Harris of the United States, speaking on behalf of the United Nations Emergency Council. We welcome you to Earth and look forward to peaceful relations." The alien smiled, or at least that's what humans thought it was doing. "We are pleased by your welcome. We have studied your broadcasts and believe your world is ready to join the wider galactic community." For the next week, things moved quickly. A meeting was arranged at the United Nations in New York. Commander Zorth, along with 3 other aliens, would meet with leaders from every nation. Security was tight, but the mood was hopeful. Jack Rogers watched it all unfold on his TV. As one of the first people to spot the alien ship, he had been interviewed by several news stations, but now he was back home, just another person watching history happen. Something bothered him, though. The aliens said they had studied Earth's broadcasts, but they seemed to know very little about human culture or history. During one interview, Commander Zorth had mentioned that humans seemed remarkably unified for a young species. Anyone who knew Earth's history would never say that. The day of the big meeting arrived. The aliens entered the UN building surrounded by security. Cameras followed their every move. Commander Zorth stepped up to the podium and looked out at the assembled world leaders. People of Earth, today marks the beginning of a new era for your planet. We have traveled across the stars to find civilizations worthy of joining our alliance. Not all worlds qualify. Some are too primitive, others too violent. The alien paused, its four eyes scanning the room. After careful study, we have determined that Earth is a Category 3 world, technologically advanced enough to be useful, but not advanced enough to be a threat. This is ideal for our purposes. A murmur ran through the crowd. President Harris stood up. What exactly do you mean by useful, Commander? Your planet is rich in resources that are valuable to us. Your people will be fairly compensated with technology and protection. Linda Powell, who had been invited to attend as a scientific advisor, raised her hand. You're talking about taking our resources? Did you research Earth's history at all? Commander Zorth looked confused. We scanned your broadcasts from the last decade. You are a commercial society that values trade. We offer a fair exchange. Admiral Carter whispered to President Harris. They think we're pushovers. Harris nodded slightly and stood again. Commander Zorth, perhaps you misunderstand humanity. We're not looking to trade away our planet's resources to strangers, no matter what technology you offer. The alien's expression changed, his wide mouth forming a thin line. I see there has been a miscalculation. We assumed your people would understand the benefits of our proposal. Let me be more direct. We have selected Earth for resource extraction. Your cooperation is preferred, but not required. The room erupted in angry shouts. Security guards moved closer to the world leaders. At home, Jack watched the scene unfold with growing alarm. The aliens hadn't come in peace after all. They had come looking for resources and assumed humans would be easy to manipulate or intimidate. They really should have Googled us first, Jack muttered to himself. Back at the UN, Commander Zorth raised all four of his arms. Please, remain calm. Consider our respective positions. Our ship alone could devastate your major cities. We have 12 more vessels waiting beyond your moon. Resistance would be pointless and costly. President Harris stood tall. Commander, I think it's you who should consider our respective positions. You clearly know very little about humans or our history. We don't respond well to threats. We never have. As if on cue, the lights in the building flickered. Commander Zorth touched a device on his wrist, then frowned. What have you done? The alien demanded. Admiral Carter smiled grimly. While you were giving your speech, we activated a specialized electromagnetic pulse targeted specifically at your communication systems. You can't contact your ships now. Impossible. Your technology isn't advanced enough to... You should have done better research, President Harris said. Humans have been preparing for alien contact, both friendly and hostile, for over a century. We've developed technology specifically for this purpose, kept secret from our own people. The alien looked genuinely shocked. This is a mistake. You cannot hope to... Actually, Linda Powell interrupted. We've been studying your ship for days. Our quantum computers have already identified several critical vulnerabilities in your shielding systems. Right now, 50 nations have weapons locked on those vulnerabilities. Commander Zorth stared in disbelief. Now, President Harris said, let's start this conversation over, shall we? As equals this time. Commander Zorth sat in a small room at the United Nations building. It was not a cell, the humans insisted, but a secure meeting room. 4 armed guards stood outside. The alien leader had been separated from his 3 companions, who were in similar rooms elsewhere in the building. In Washington, D.C., President Harris met again with his team, this time joined by leaders from Russia, China, India, and the European Union via secure video call. The alien ship is still in orbit, Admiral Carter reported. But it hasn't moved or tried to attack. Our jammers are keeping them from talking to each other. Dr. Johnson pushed his glasses up. We've learned more about their technology. They're advanced, yes, but not as much as they wanted us to think. Their weapons are maybe 50 years ahead of ours, not centuries. What about the 12 ships they claim are waiting beyond the moon? Asked the Russian president. Admiral Carter smiled slightly. Our deep space radar shows only 3 additional ships, not 12. Commander Zorth was bluffing. President Harris nodded. So they came here thinking we were an easy target. They did minimal research and assumed we would either welcome them or be too scared to fight back. Exactly, Dr. Johnson said. They're like explorers from Earth's past who found new lands and thought the natives would trade valuable resources for beads and trinkets. Except we're not those natives, President Harris said, and we need to make that very clear. Jack Rogers was surprised when 2 government agents showed up at his door. They explained that because he was the first to spot the alien ship, they wanted his help. Within hours, Jack found himself flying to New York on a military plane. We think the aliens only looked at our TV shows and internet from the past few years, one agent told him. They didn't study our history or our science. They think we're less advanced than we are. That was pretty stupid of them, Jack said. Yes, and we want to use that mistake against them. Jack arrived at the UN building just as Linda Powell was, finishing her analysis of the alien technology. They hugged briefly, both amazed to be part of such a historic moment. The president is going to talk to Commander Zorth again, Linda told him. They want us there because we represent ordinary, humans who first spotted the aliens. Not so ordinary now, Jack replied, looking around at the world leaders and military officers filling the room. Commander Zorth was brought in, his 4 arms unbound, but his communication device removed. He looked less confident than before. Let me be direct, President Harris began. You came to our world thinking we would be easy to manipulate. You were wrong. The alien's 4 eyes blinked rapidly. There has been a misunderstanding. My words were poorly chosen. No, Harris said firmly. You were clear. You want our resources and thought we would either give them up willingly or be too weak to stop you. Commander Zorth's blue-gray skin seemed to pale. Your technology is more advanced than our scans indicated. That's because you didn't look hard enough, Linda said, stepping forward. You only studied our entertainment broadcast, didn't you? Not our science journals or military capabilities. The alien didn't answer, which was answer enough. Jack looked at the alien. You know what's funny? We've been preparing for this moment for over 100 years. Not just our governments, but regular people too. We've made thousands of movies and books about aliens coming to Earth. In most of them, we fight back and win. Fiction, Commander Zorth said dismissively. Maybe, Jack continued, but those stories made us think about how to defend ourselves. They made our scientists and military plan for this exact situation. President Harris nodded. While you've been here, we've analyzed your ship's weaknesses. We've shared that information with every nation on Earth. Right now, 20 different countries have weapons pointed at those weak spots. You would start a war you cannot win? The alien asked. We don't want war, Harris replied. But if you force one upon us, you should know that humans have been fighting wars against each other for thousands of years. We're very good at it. Admiral Carter stepped forward with a tablet showing images of the alien ship. Your main weapon requires 2 hours to charge. Your shields can't block our newest missiles. Your engines have a critical design flaw that our scientists identified within hours of your arrival. Commander Zorth looked genuinely shocked. How did you? We've been watching the stars for centuries, Linda explained. Studying physics, testing theories. Your arrival accelerated our work, but we were already on the path to developing the technology you use. President Harris leaned forward. Here's what's going to happen. You and your companions will return to your ship. You will leave Earth orbit and tell whoever sent you that this planet is not available for resource extraction. And if we refuse? The alien asked, but with less confidence than before. Jack spoke up. Then the whole world will fight you, not just our militaries, everyone, everywhere. Even if you destroyed our cities, Admiral Carter added, millions of us would survive. We would rebuild. We would keep fighting. And we would remember. The alien was silent for a long moment. I must consult with my superiors. You'll be allowed to return to your ship and contact them, President Harris said. But know that we'll be listening and we have translated your language. That night, Jack and Linda watched from a special observation room as Commander Zorth's ship broke orbit and moved away from Earth. On screens around them, people from all over the world cheered. They'll be back, won't they? Jack asked. Linda nodded. Probably, but not soon and not the same way. Next time they'll do their homework. Next time they'll Google us first, Jack said with a smile. President Harris joined them, looking tired but satisfied. We've made contact with the other 3 ships. They're retreating too. What did Commander Zorth tell his superiors? Linda asked. That Earth is a Category 5 world. Too dangerous to approach without proper preparation and respect. The president smiled slightly. He also recommended they study our full history before attempting contact again. Jack looked up at the stars, through the window. You know what's amazing? We just faced actual aliens, and the thing that saved us wasn't our weapons or technology. What was it? The president asked. The fact that they didn't bother to learn about us. They underestimated humans because they were too lazy to do proper research. Linda laughed. I guess even advanced aliens can make stupid mistakes. The universe just taught them an important lesson, President Harris said. Never underestimate a species that has survived its own violent history and still looks to the stars with hope. Outside, the night sky was clear again. The alien ships, now just tiny points of light moving away from Earth. Humanity had faced its first interstellar challenge and stood united. Whatever came next, they would face it together. 6 months passed since the aliens left Earth. The world had changed in ways both big and small. Countries that once argued over borders and resources now worked together on global defense systems. Science and technology advanced rapidly as governments shared research that had once been secret. Jack Rogers no longer worked at the small observatory. He now led a team at the new International Space Defense Center in Colorado. Linda Powell worked there too, heading the research division. Any signals? Today? Jack asked as he entered the main control room. Linda looked up from her computer. Nothing from our friends, but we've detected unusual activity near Jupiter. They watched the large screen that showed the outer planets. A small dot moved slowly, near Jupiter's largest moon. Is it them? Jack asked. We don't think so, Linda replied. The energy signature is different. Might be someone else entirely. President Harris arrived for his weekly visit. 6 months of dealing with the aftermath of alien contact had added gray to his hair, but his eyes remained sharp and focused. Dr. Powell, Mr. Rogers, he greeted them. What's our status? We're tracking something near Jupiter, Linda said. Not the same aliens as before, we think. Different technology. The president nodded calmly. Have they noticed our observation posts on Mars? After the first alien encounter, Earth had quickly established bases on the Moon and Mars. Hidden among scientific research stations were powerful weapons and early warning systems. No signs they've spotted them yet, Jack said. But they're being careful, moving slowly, not like Commander Zorth, who just charged right in. These ones did their homework, Linda added. Across the world, ordinary life continued, but with a new awareness of the wider universe. Schools now taught about the alien encounter. Children played with toys of the blue-gray aliens. Movies and books about Commander Zorth's failed invasion became popular. In Beijing, scientists worked on new shield technology based on what they had learned from scanning the alien ship. In Moscow, engineers built faster spaceships. In New Delhi, doctors studied alien biology. Everyone contributed to Earth's preparation for the next encounter. At the Space Defense Center, alarms suddenly blared. The unknown object near Jupiter had changed course. It's heading toward Earth, Linda announced. Estimated arrival time, 3 days. President Harris didn't panic. Activate the Solar System Defense Network. Alert all nations. But let's not assume hostile intent yet. For 3 days, the world watched and waited. The new visitor slowed as it approached Earth, stopping at almost the same orbit where Commander Zorth's ship had been. They're scanning us, Linda reported. Very detailed scans, much more thorough than the first aliens. They're being careful, Jack said, learning from Zorth's mistakes. A message came from the ship, broadcast on all frequencies in perfect Indite, English, Mandarin, Spanish, Arabic, and Russian, the 5 most spoken languages on Earth. People of Earth, we are the Galactic Council of Sentient Species. We come in peace and with respect for your sovereignty. We request permission to send a single unarmed shuttle to meet with your leaders. President Harris consulted with other world leaders via secure video. They agreed to allow the meeting, but with strict conditions. The alien shuttle landed in a special facility built near the United Nations. Unlike Commander Zorth, this alien was small, with green skin and only 2 eyes. It wore what appeared to be a formal robe with colorful patterns. "I am Ambassador Lore of the Galactic Council," it said in clear English. "Thank you for allowing this meeting." President Harris, now representing the newly formed Earth Defense Alliance, nodded politely. "Welcome to Earth, Ambassador. We appreciate your respectful approach." Jack and Linda watched from a viewing room as the meeting began. With them were scientists and military leaders from around the world. "We have studied your civilization carefully," Ambassador Lore said. "Your history, your cultures, your technological development. We apologize for not making contact sooner." "You know about our previous visitor?" President Harris asked. The alien made a gesture that might have been a sign of disgust. "Commander Zorth and his kind are known to us. They are not members of the Galactic Council. They are, to use your terms, pirates and resource thieves." Linda leaned forward with interest. "So there are different alien civilizations with different goals. The universe just got more complicated," Jack whispered. In the meeting room, Ambassador Lore continued. "We monitored the encounter with Zorth's ships. Your response was impressive. Few young civilizations stand up to them so effectively." "We don't respond well to threats," President Harris said simply. "So we learned," the alien replied with what might have been a smile. "That is partly why I am here. The Galactic Council wishes to offer Earth membership." This caused excited whispers among the Earth representatives. "What would membership mean?" President Harris asked cautiously. "Trade, cultural exchange, technological sharing, and mutual defense," Ambassador Lore explained. "The Council includes over 200 species from across this galaxy. Each maintains its independence while working together for common goals." "And if we decline?" Harris asked. "Then we respect your choice and establish standard diplomatic relations instead. No pressure, no threats." Jack looked at Linda. "They really did their homework, didn't they?" "Makes all the difference," she replied. "Respect instead of threats." Over the next week, Ambassador Lore met with leaders, scientists, and ordinary people from around the world. Unlike Commander Zorth, who had stayed isolated in the UN building, Lore visited schools, hospitals, and public spaces, always with security, but openly engaging with humans. The alien showed particular interest in Earth's art, music, and literature. In a public address broadcast globally, Lore praised humanity's creativity. "Your species has produced more unique art forms in your short history than many council members have in thousands of years. Your imagination is your greatest strength." On the final day of the visit, President Harris and leaders from 50 nations met with Ambassador Lore to discuss Earth's response to the Council's offer. "We are interested in membership," Harris said, "but we need time. Our world is still adjusting to the knowledge that we're not alone in the universe." "Of course," Lore replied. "The Council proposes a 5-year observation period. We will establish an embassy in orbit around Earth. Your people can visit and learn about Council members. You can prepare your world for wider galactic contact." "That seems reasonable," President Harris agreed. Later, as they watched Ambassador Lore's shuttle return to the main ship, Jack turned to Linda. "You know what the big difference was between these aliens and Commander Zorth?" "What?" Linda asked. "These ones Googled us first," Jack said with a smile. Linda laughed. "And learned that humans make better friends than enemies." President Harris joined them, looking more relaxed than he had in months. A wise approach for anyone, alien or human. Above them, the Council ship moved into a stable orbit, a watchful friend rather than a threat. Earth had taken its first steps into a larger universe, not through conquest or submission, but through mutual respect and understanding. 1 year into the 5-year observation period, Earth had changed dramatically. The Galactic Council embassy orbited the planet like a small, gleaming moon. Thousands of humans had visited it. returning with stories of amazing technology and friendly alien species. Jack Rogers walked through the busy halls of the International Space Defense Center. The facility had grown 3 times larger since its creation. Scientists from every country worked together on projects that would have seemed impossible before first contact. Linda Powell waved Jack over to her research station. "Come look at this," she said excitedly. On her screen, a 3D model showed a new spaceship design. Unlike the clunky rockets of the past, this ship was sleek and beautiful. "Is that what I think it is?" Jack asked. Linda nodded. "Our first faster-than-light ship, based on Council technology they shared last month. We're calling it the Earth Ambassador. When will it be ready?" 6 months, maybe less. Every nation is contributing resources." President Harris entered the room, now accompanied by the newly created Earth Council, representatives from 12 regions around the world who made decisions about Earth's relationship with alien civilizations. Dr. Powell, Mr. Rogers, the president greeted them. "Ambassador, Lore has requested your presence at a special meeting." Jack raised his eyebrows. "Us? Why? You were both there at the beginning," President Harris explained. "Both alien encounters. The Council respects that experience." The next day, Jack and Linda rode a shuttle up to the orbiting embassy. It was Jack's 3rd visit, Linda's 5th. The shuttle docked smoothly at the spinning station, and they floated through the entry tube into the artificial gravity of the reception area. Ambassador Lore greeted them personally. The small green alien had become a familiar face on Earth, news programs. "Thank you for coming," Lore said. "Please, follow me to the council chamber." They walked through corridors filled with aliens of different shapes, sizes, and colors. Some looked almost human. Others were completely different. Floating clouds of gas or creatures with 10 legs. In the main chamber, a semicircle of alien representatives waited. At the center was a large screen showing a star map. "We have called this meeting to discuss a concerning development," Ambassador Lore began. "Our long-range sensors have detected Commander Zorth's fleet again." Jack felt his heart beat faster. "They're coming back?" "Yes, but not alone. They have joined forces with another aggressive species, the Drawl. Together they have been raiding planets at the edge of Council space." Linda looked worried. "And now they're heading toward Earth?" "Not directly," Lore said. "But we have intercepted communications suggesting they plan to eventually return here. Commander Zorth was humiliated by your resistance. He seeks revenge." President Harris stood straighter. "Earth is better prepared now than before." "Indeed," Lore agreed. "But there is another concern. The Drawl possess technology that can disable planetary defense systems. They have used it successfully against other worlds." The chamber grew quiet as everyone considered this news. One of the other council members, a tall blue alien with 4 arms similar to Zorth's species, but with gentler features, spoke up. "We believe Earth could benefit from faster integration into the Council's defense network." "What exactly does that mean?" Linda asked. "The 5-year observation period would be shortened," Lore explained. "Earth would receive full defensive technology now rather than gradually." "And in return?" President Harris asked, always careful about agreements. Lore's expression was serious. "We would ask Earth to join in defending other worlds if needed. Your planet is uniquely positioned at the edge of Council space. Your ships could reach threatened worlds quickly." Jack looked at Linda, both thinking the same thing. Just a year ago, humans were only defending their own planet. Now they were being asked to help protect other civilizations across the stars. "We would need to discuss this with the full Earth Council," President Harris said. "Of course," Lore nodded. "But there is something else you should know. Something about why Commander Zorth's people and others like them fear humans particularly." The star map zoomed in to show Earth's solar system. "Your species is unusual," Lore continued. "Most intelligent life evolves on gentle worlds with few natural threats. Your Earth is remarkably dangerous. Extreme weather, natural disasters, large predators, and a history of competing civilizations." Linda tilted her head. You're saying we're tough because our planet is tough? Precisely, another council member said. Species like Commander Zorth's evolved on worlds where resources were plentiful and threats were few. They never developed your resilience or innovation. They also lack your cultural diversity, Lore added. Most species develop a single global culture. Earth has thousands, each with unique perspectives. This gives your problem-solving abilities a special advantage. Jack smiled slightly. So when Commander Zorth came here expecting an easy conquest, he encountered a species literally born from challenge and diversity, Lore finished. This is why his return concerns us. He will be better prepared this time. He has studied your history thoroughly now. So he finally Googled us, Jack said. Several translation devices in the room struggled with the term, causing a few alien chuckles. Back on Earth, the news of Zorth's potential return spread quickly. Rather than panic, humans responded with determination. The construction of the Earth ambassadorship accelerated. Defense systems were strengthened. New technologies developed rapidly. At a public address, President Harris spoke to a global audience. 1 year ago, we learned we were not alone in the universe. We faced a threat and stood united. Now we face a new challenge, not just defending our world, but potentially helping to defend others. Across the planet, humans watched and listened. The Galactic Council has offered us full membership now, ahead of schedule. With it comes advanced technology, trade opportunities, and cultural exchange. It also brings responsibility. Earth may be called upon to help protect other worlds from those who would conquer and exploit. In homes, schools, and public squares, people discussed what this meant. Unlike before, when decisions were made by a few leaders, now everyone had access to information about the Council and the potential threat. In Colorado, Jack and Linda watched the global vote tally rise on their screens. The question was simple. Should Earth accept early membership in the Galactic Council? 92% yes, Linda read aloud. I never thought I'd see humans agree on anything that strongly. Nothing unites people like a common enemy, Jack said. Plus the promise of cool alien technology. Linda laughed. True. But it's more than that. People want to be part of something bigger. As the Earth ambassador neared completion in orbit, Jack looked out the window at the stars. Somewhere out there, Commander Zorth was planning his return. But this time, Earth wouldn't face him alone. This time, humans were ready. Not just to defend their world, but to take their place in a galactic community. When Commander Zorth finally returned, he would find a very different Earth than the one he left. One that had not only Googled the universe, but had made friends with much of it. 6 months after Earth voted to join the Galactic Council, the Earth ambassadorship was ready for its first mission. The sleek vessel gleamed in Earth orbit, a symbol of how far humanity had come in just 18 months since first contact. Jack Rogers walked through the ship's main corridor, still amazed that he had been chosen as part of the crew. Linda Powell walked beside him, her new uniform marking her as the ship's chief science officer. Can you believe we're really doing this? Jack asked. We're about to travel faster than light. Linda smiled. From small observatory in Iowa to interstellar travel, quite a career change. Captain Maria Chen, an experienced astronaut who had been selected to command Earth's first faster-than-light ship, approached them. Dr. Powell, Mr. Rogers, we're ready for the final briefing, she said. In the ship's conference room, Ambassador Lore waited with President Harris and the Earth Council. Displayed on the large screen was a star map showing their destination. This will be a diplomatic mission, President Harris explained. The Earth Ambassador will visit 3 Council worlds to establish official relations. Ambassador Lore nodded. These worlds are eager to meet humans. Your species has become somewhat famous in Council space. Famous for what? Jack asked. For standing up to Commander Zorth, Lore replied. Many worlds have surrendered to his kind, rather than fight. Your resistance made an impression. Captain Chen studied the star map. What's the latest on Zorth's fleet? Still gathering allies at the edge of Council space, Lore said. Our intelligence suggests he won't be ready to move for at least another month. The Earth Ambassador departed the next day. The ship's crew of 50 represented 20 different countries. As they moved beyond Earth's orbit, Captain Chen gave the order they had all been waiting for. Activate FTL drive. The stars outside stretched into lines, and Earth disappeared behind them. Humans had taken their first step into interstellar travel. Their first stop was Voltar, a planet with blue oceans and red forests. The Voltarians were tall, four-armed beings similar to Commander Zorth's species, but with a peaceful culture built around art and music. As the human delegation met with Voltarian leaders, Jack noticed something odd. "They seem nervous around us," he whispered to Linda. She nodded. "I've noticed that too." Later, during a cultural exchange dinner, Jack sat next to a Voltarian scientist named Elsa. "Can I ask you something?" Jack said. "Why do your people seem uncomfortable around humans?" Elsa hesitated. "We share common ancestors with the species you call Commander Zorth's people. Their official name is the Crawl. We evolved on different worlds but from the same source species. You're worried we might hold that against you? Wouldn't you?" Elsa asked. "If you met beings who looked like those who threatened your world?" Jack thought about human history, how often people had judged others based on appearance. Some humans might, but most of us understand that appearance doesn't determine behavior. Your people welcomed us. That's what matters. The tension eased after that conversation. By the time the Earth ambassador departed for its next destination, humans and Voltarians had established strong diplomatic ties. The second planet they visited was Neron, a gas giant where the natives lived on floating cities in the upper atmosphere. The Neronians looked like glowing jellyfish and communicated through light patterns. "They want to know about Earth's oceans," the translator explained as colorful lights flashed between the Neronian representatives. Linda spent hours sharing images and data about Earth's marine life. The Neronians were fascinated. "Your world sounds beautiful," the Neronian leader's lights translated. "We would like to visit one day." "You would be welcome," Linda replied. On the third planet, Zalos, they found a civilization of small, furry beings who lived underground to escape their world's harsh surface conditions. The Zalosians were master engineers who had built an entire civilization beneath the surface. "Your adaptation to difficult conditions is impressive," Jack told the Zalosian chief engineer. "As is yours," the engineer replied. "We've studied Earth. Your ability to thrive in so many different environments is remarkable." As they prepared to return to Earth, an urgent message arrived from Ambassador Lore. "Commander Zorth's fleet is on the move. They've attacked a council outpost near Earth. You must return immediately." Captain Chen ordered maximum speed. The Earth ambassador raced back through space, pushing its new engines to their limits. They arrived to find Earth's orbital defense stations fully activated. The Galactic Council had sent 5 ships to support Earth's defense. Ambassador Lore met them as soon as they docked. "Zorth's fleet will arrive within 2 days, Lore explained. 10 ships, including 3 Drawl vessels with the defense-disrupting technology. President Harris looked grim. "Are we ready?" "More ready than they expect," Lore said. "The Council has provided a shield modification that should counter the Drawl technology, and we've received reports from our intelligence sources." "What reports?" Linda asked. "There is disagreement within Zorth's fleet. Not all ships are fully committed to this attack. Zorth promised them an easy victory against a primitive world." Jack smiled slightly. "But that's not what they'll find." "No," Lore agreed. "They'll find a full Council member world with advanced defenses and allies." For 2 days Earth prepared. Unlike the fear that might have gripped the planet before, now there was determined focus. Defensive systems were checked and rechecked. The Earth ambassador and 2 new Earth ships that had been built took up positions alongside the Council vessels. When Commander Zorth's fleet finally arrived, they found not a vulnerable planet but a well-defended world supported by Council ships. Zorth's face appeared on communication screens across Earth. He looked older, his blue-gray skin darker with age, but his 4 eyes still burned with the same arrogance. "Earth. We meet again," he said. President Harris answered from the Global Defense Center. "Commander Zorth, you should have stayed away." "I have come to claim what should have been mine," Zorth replied. "Your world's resources. My fleet is stronger now. And so are we." President Harris said simply. Look around you, Commander. Earth is a full council member. We have allies, technology, ships of our own. This isn't the same planet you threatened 18 months ago. For the first time, uncertainty showed in Zorth's eyes as he realized the full extent of Earth's transformation. From the Earth ambassador, Jack watched the exchange on the bridge screen. Linda stood beside him, both thinking the same thing. He still didn't do enough research, Jack said quietly. Linda nodded. Some aliens never learn. 3 of Zorth's ships suddenly broke formation, moving away from his fleet. Commander, one of Zorth's captains transmitted openly, you said this would be an easy conquest. You said they would be vulnerable. This is a full council world now. More ships began to pull away. Within hours, 7 of Zorth's 10 ships had retreated, leaving only his command vessel and 2 loyal ships. Faced with overwhelming odds, Commander Zorth finally admitted defeat. His remaining ships retreated, disappearing into deep space. Celebrations broke out across Earth. Jack looked out at the stars from the ambassador's observation deck. You know what's amazing? He said to Linda. 18 months ago, we were just hoping aliens wouldn't destroy our planet. Now we're helping protect other worlds. All because one alien commander didn't bother to Google us before attacking. Linda replied with a smile. Sometimes the smallest mistakes change everything. Behind them, through the window, Earth shone blue and beautiful, now officially part of something much larger than itself. A galactic community of diverse species, working together. Humanity had taken its place among the stars,